We spend a third of our lives asleep, and during that time we dream. Sometimes we talk about it to our friends afterwards, but that's as far as we'll ever go thinking about it. Did you know 1,000 years ago, even 100 years ago, dreams are far more significant? Are dreams important, or just mere topics for conversation? Are they trying to send us messages? Or are they just merely passing through the ivory gates of deception? First question, what dreams can you remember having recently?
I basically envisioned a tidal wave coming out of nowhere, a huge tsunami wave, probably about, I'd say 300, 400 feet tall, or I don't know, just like picture 5 skyscrapers just on top of like each other and whatever, but that's how big it seemed.
I can remember having a dream recently which was funny enough to do with the Titanic, and it was really confusing even for me. What it was I dreamt that I was this woman and I'd foreseen the Titanic disaster, and I remembered my daughter was going on the Titanic, and I couldn't, and I've finding how many different ways I could get to her, and in the end I bought this little ship thing, this little boat thing, and I went out into the Atlantic Ocean searching for her on it and things like that.
Basically what led up to it was tidal wave comes, everyone turns around, sees it, and just the whole dramatic shots of like the wave hits into cars and it goes into doors and smashes up houses, blah blah blah, and it basically ended where the wave was just about to hit me, and then as I'm just about to wake up, I feel as if I'm falling through the sky, and then when I totally wake up, it feels as if I just dropped on my bed, as if I've been just like chucked from on a huge building or whatever. But that's like my most recent dream.
Anyway, the waves got really rough, and the boat that I was on capsized, and I was like, oh no, sort of thing. And I was swimming around, and in the middle of the ocean there was a rock with a load of like barnacles on it, and I saw the Titanic go past me. I was like, oh no, how am I going to get to her over there, because they're never going to see me now.
I'm on a road and I see a bus pulling up, so go into the bus and I give him my Oyster card, and I'm like, okay, like that's what you normally do since you got that little tagging thing that puts it over there. So I'm like, okay, fine. So as soon as I tag it, the driver takes it from me, and then his words were, "You won't be needing this, mate." And then I'm thinking, bus driver, maybe a serial killer trying to drive a bus full of like crazy people, whatever. But anyway, dream progresses, and I keep on thinking, okay, that's like the first indication of something's wrong.
And then afterwards, it ended up I was like in this street, and there was still a connection to the barnacles, because this guy had a lorry and he was like driving past, and in the back were a load of rocks with barnacles on it. And I woke up after that and I thought, what was the point of that?
Then the actual driver gets a lighter out of nowhere, I don't know, maybe his little dashboard or whatever, and he burns the actual Oyster card in front of me right after he says that line, "You won't be needing this, mate." So in an instant second, it seems as if he not shrinks, but the whole atmosphere around him sort of goes into picture being put into a burial ground, but in like an instant second where we just go like all the way down. So now it looks as if I'm the whole gigantic brown man, and as if he's like this little midget sort kind of thing.
I had a dream that I was with a friend that I don't know, that they stole my car, and when I left them in the car.
Okay.
Terrible.
I turn around and I see these passengers, and then it's just like your average bunch, like maybe, I don't know, old people, young people, or mixed race, interracial, whatever. It's just like a whole bunch basically. So I keep on watching them for like about a good maybe 1-2 seconds, and then I notice that they all shape shift, transform, morph into just like what kind of creature would that be? Like I'd say vampire fangs, but just like deformed zombie type faces that just like enlarge with like, let's say, jawbones or fangs, or just any feature becomes twice as more exaggerated as like let's say face paint or like a costume or whatever.
I had a dream where I was running away from this man that I didn't know, but I knew who he was in the dream. That happens a lot. And I was running from him.
So I turn around with the bus driver again, and this time I see him in the same place, but I see water just flooding upwards. The water kept going up and up and up and up.
And I jumped up this fence, and I was on both sides, and if I jumped on one side, the side that I was running from, the man was there and he was trying to attack me, and if I jumped on the other side, it was like there was bare like spikes and everything, so I just stayed on the wall and I woke up.
That's when everything just seems to just sort of like not fade away or pixelize like a iMovie effect, but it's as if it all never happened, and then I'm just flying through a sky, just like dropping. But it seems as if I don't know what I'm flying from, since if I was to look up, it's just endless sky, and if I look down, then it's just cloud, no land, no cement, no people, no houses, no nothing. So it's just like an endless fall, and that's when I actually wake up.
What is your own interpretation of the dreams you had?
I think the car one, I think that's to me to be wary, maybe to not be so trusting in everyone, maybe looking at it on a bigger picture, not so much me being silly and taking my keys when I leave my car, but just generally maybe I shouldn't be so trusting in everyone that I come across. So maybe that was a little indication. If I did think of it in that way, maybe that could be it. As for the other one, the man chasing me, I don't know. Maybe there was something going on in my life at that moment in time. I can't remember what. That I felt that maybe I was trapped. Maybe I needed to make a decision, and either decision was not necessarily a good one. So maybe I felt stuck or trapped before I went to sleep.
My theory is that sometimes when I do that, it's because I'm dreaming of my past life, because I know some people have different beliefs and on things like that about like life after death and things like that, but my theory is you don't live here just once, you come back multiple times, or you can choose if you want to come back. Although I don't know why, because of people that get depressed and psychopathic and things like that. Why would you want to come back to an earth like that? But yeah, that's what I think it is. I think I'm remembering something that's happened to me in the past. Although with the whole barnacles in the back of the lorry thing, that might just be something that my brain's added now.
It seems as if whatever I've worked on, seen or researched seems to come at me like a rebound. The way I view dreams is it's either a momentary lapse of your imagination, if you will, and it's either something that's already happened in like previously in like the past that's like telling you something, or it's a message encrypted that will sort of show you a path in the future of like what is destined for you. But my whole thing is that I guess it's either like a warning sign, or it's just a message to stay alert for something like a climate change or whatever. But that's how I see it.